The paperclip millionaire, the transition from state ward to adult is less of a bridge and more of a cliff. On your 18th birthday, the safety net dissolves. One day you have a social worker, a meal plan, and a bed. But next, you are standing on a sidewalk in a city that does not know your name, holding a trash bag full of clothes and a check for $200. This was the reality. I faced the day I aged out of the foster care system. I walked out of the group home with the terrifying realization that if I tripped and fell, there was no one in the world whose job it was to catch me. For the next decade, I lived a life defined by inexplicable luck. Rent was paid by anonymous donors. Scholarships appeared for a foundation that didn't seem to have a website. Even a lost wallet I found on my porch contained exactly the amount I needed for a transmission repair. I believed I was the universe's favorite foster kid. Yesterday, 3 years after the passing of my grumpy neighbor, Mr. Henderson, I finally bought his rundown house at a city auction. I wanted to save the only building that sat next to me during my hardest years. While pulling up the rotted floorboards in his workshop, I found a steel lockbox. Inside wasn't money. It was a ledger, a decade-long diary of every miracle I ever had. It turns out, I wasn't lucky. I was being watched over by a man who never once gave me a smile, but spent his entire life making sure I never hit the ground.
If you want to find out what happens next, click the link below the channel logo for the full video.